Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be covering the upcoming 60 Skills workshop in February. This is the first live long form workshop event for 60 Skills, and I'm really excited to be there to help out, assist in recording, and on the production side of things. So very quickly, I want to go over some facts about this. It's going to be hosted from February 17th to the 21st in Sayulita, Mexico. It's just about a 40 minutes drive from Puerto Vallarta. Really easy to book a taxi out that way. So I'll be there to help with the video production, and I'll also be available as a resource to any of you who are Mystery College members. So Bob Smith of 60 Skills will be teaching virtually all of the workshop lectures and teachings, and there's going to be a lot of training involved during this workshop space. If you come here a bit earlier or a little bit later, you should be all right. If you come earlier, I'll be around, Bob may be around, and might be able to catch up for some coffee or some cacao. So some interesting tidbits is Sayulita, Mexico is actually where Bob and I recorded his first publicly available course, Building the Ball. And that's exactly how we're going to kick off the training after we go over the meta system explanation. So I'm going to show you my screen real quick here. So as you can see here, I'm just going to cover the itinerary a little bit. After I cover the itinerary, we're going to go over some cool facts about Sayulita, preparing for it, things to get, things to know before booking, and so on. So first day, we're going to cover the meta system of 60 skills, like how the curriculum works, how do you do the exercises, and we'll also do a group exercise where we're building the ball together. We'll also be jumping straight into some Kabbalistic letter magic practice and how to generate elemental equilibrium doing so. So many of the people who will be attending this workshop are already familiar with the 60 skills system or have been longtime students. But there are enough things going here, and if you're worried about energy sensitivity or whether you're going to be able to pick up the skills, I'll be there to assist you, as will Bob, and being in the workshop space environment where there's energetic transmissions, where there's so many people who already developed these skills, will help you pick up these skills that much quicker. So I wouldn't worry too much about energy sensitivity or anything like that. More than likely, statistically, from my experience in being with hundreds and hundreds of students among various workshops doing these types of practices, you'll pick up the skills. It's very, very rare someone doesn't. So then we'll work on some focus concentration exercises, learning about expanding, releasing, and oscillating our awareness and our internal proprioception. And then one of the key things that we'll be doing a lot of in this training is we'll be doing a lot of rebounding, right? And we'll be learning how to do Fa Zhen, one, because it's actually one of the best ways for you to develop your strength and your ability to conduct energy. Two, it's going to increase all of your other faculties of your clear faculties. Our body, our engine, if you will, and the energetic pathways or meridians are what conduct chi energy and are the foundation and basis for doing any type of magical, meditative, spiritual work in a transformative way. If you have more bandwidth in your system to produce kinesthetic force or physical energy, and you have your facial web developed, the more you'll be able to actively employ all these techniques, all these technologies. So really good stuff what we're doing. And at the end of the day, we're going to be doing some really awesome breath work. I've practiced this system, and you will love it. It's really fun, really fun. Following day, we'll be going over troll core practice, which is something I've not personally done, and I'm really excited to learn. Following that, we'll go into like non-dual light, Akasha practice, working with equilibrium, and then also rebounding with the letter practice. So we're going to be learning how to use Kabbalistic frequencies, letters, in partner work with other people and with a variety of partners. In doing so, we're going to learn how different people's energy bodies work when we're working with, like, friends, family, other, and practice partners. So it's going to give you a lot of intellect and energetic understanding of the mechanics of how these skills are directly transferable one after the other. When you learn one thing, it often can transfer to other various areas, especially with the 60 skills curriculum and the type of work we're doing. Following that, we'll go into walking with letters, which is really awesome. It's going to be something that you'll find that you do very regularly when you go on walks or you are just taking a stroll. It's going to be a really high quality way to be continually generating energy in your day-to-day life. Then we'll cover out some other things like internal power versus ritual power, how to use the living crystal device, which I'm a big proponent, big fan of. I've got one of my living crystal devices right behind me. Not sure you can see on camera there, but we also have more non-dual light and Akashic practice and training. And then we'll also be going into spirit magic. How do you work with different spirits of things? So we'll be doing those together as a class. Then we'll be going into like multi-letter Kabbalistic formulas, like how do you ritually stack energies to gain amplified effects or highly specific effects. Yeah, a lot more great stuff. Going through the enlightenment process, clairvoyance, clairaudience exercises, single point of focus, more walking exercises where we integrate these energies. So a lot of what this workshop's going to do is going to give you the skills to use any type of energy for any type of exercise in future, and then be able to, in a scientific way, in an energy engineering way, be able to measure the results of the practices you're doing. So it's going to give you a lot of transference of abilities and skills, and a first principles understanding of how the meditative spiritual process works. Therefore, if you have this first principles understanding, then you can be able to reverse engineer and look at whatever results you want in your life or in your spiritual practice, and find out the intrinsic energy behind that, and be able to replicate that not only in one dimension, not only in just a seated meditation, but in all these other types of meditations, walking, standing, with a training partner. And it's going to give you immense insight into all the mechanics of whatever types of intrinsic energies you want to work with for spiritual attainments or for martial applications, whatever your curiosity or passion is. So yeah, now we're going to cover a little bit more details about like Sayulita. Sayulita is really beautiful, tons of serene locations, tons of oceanfront where you can go on walks, cool places to meditate, nice little forest trails, and yeah, and there's a lot of eco-friendly accommodations too that are either integrated into the jungle landscape, that are in town by quick access walk, and really, really love the food there. They have a lot of great organic options or non-GMO, seed oil free. If you need to work a little bit while you're there, there are a few co-working spaces, and I can recommend those to you. If you just let me know in advance or on site, there's a few great spots that have fast Wi-Fi. Yeah, and the climate is always great year round. It's on the ocean, great places to hike, and really enjoy the food there. Really enjoy the food. So we'll come down and just kind of cover some logistical things, like what are some items you may want to bring. I definitely recommend getting some sort of sunblock for you, depending on how much melanin's in your skin or how reactive you are to the sun. In Sayulita and small Mexican towns in general, they have tons of pharmacies that have anything under the sun that you would need, and you can just get a prescription on site. One thing I do recommend is to be sober before, during, and after the trip to be able to better integrate the energies. This also includes alcohol. Cigarettes are fine, so I wouldn't worry about that. Tobacco products are fine. But like for alcohol, it does affect the efficacy and skill development of acquiring these things. You're welcome to do as you please in your own time. But what I've personally observed, and what Bob Smith of 60 Skills has observed, is that alcohol does impact negatively the rate and skill of acquisition of these of the practices and things we're trying to share. So yeah, tons of toiletries and other things there. I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, maybe a little lip balm. I think last time I was there, my lips dried up a little bit. we're going to be having chairs on site, but we're likely not going to have any meditation cushions or zafu. So if that's how you prefer to meditate, which most people prefer chairs, then you may need to bring that or require that yourself. Um, yeah, comfortable, loose-fitting clothing. Something you're gonna feel comfortable wearing all day. I wouldn't wear like really tight jeans or anything like that. Just things like athletic wear would be good to use as well. So there's something you feel comfortable being able to move around in all day. So uh, yeah, a light shower blanket would be good and smart to bring. Water bottle, uh, you know, slippers, sandals. Sometimes on the beach you can get a little windy and cold. So if you have a light layer, like a like a light fleece or something like that, that would be recommended. Sunglasses definitely recommended, and a baseball cap. That's what I usually bring. I usually like to bring two sets of shoes to Salida, like a pair of sandals, um, and then and then like a normal pair of tennis shoes. You'll definitely be needing tennis shoes or something you don't mind being jumping up and down in, because we'll be doing a lot of that to generate energy in the class. So just so you know, there'll be a bit of like up and down, jumping around while we're doing some aspects of the training. Not all of it, but just some. For insect repellent, usually not a problem, but you may want like to just get like a little eucalyptus spray. I wouldn't recommend DEET necessarily unless you have a severe allergic reaction to mosquito bites. Mostly only an issue or something I've noticed in the evening times after the sun settled. Um, but yeah, I shouldn't have too many issues there. You should be good. As far as like local shopping, they have a lot of little stores, little 7-Eleven-esque type markets, Oxos, they call them, and Oxo's the brand typically there in Mexico. Tons of awesome restaurants, convenience stores. So there isn't like any Ubers out there, or at least I've never had any luck with it. There are more or less local cab companies, so you may need to get familiar with those. If you go on cellulitalife.com, then there'll be some cab companies, and this is more for you like leaving Sayulita. You can get an Uber in the Puerto Vallarta airport, like coming into Sayulita, but not gonna find that coming out. You'll need to book like a private cab, or they also have a book. They also have a bus that you can take. That's just a couple USD per person, and then from there, grab an Uber or taxi to the airport if you want to save a little cash, or if you just like bus journeys like I do. Public transport's very comfortable, very safe, especially this one because it's in a small town. So yeah, there's a lot of food places I'm really looking forward to on this trip, and I'm really excited to try like really good cacao shop. There's a few amazing smoothie places and some incredible churros. Some of the best I've had in Mexico. Um, About 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away drive, there's a Walmart, and there's also Costco as well. So if you're planning to rent a car in that time, you can do a big trip and buy a bunch of things, so you don't have to eat food in town. But I definitely recommend eating some food in town because it's awesome. So certainly budget for that. ATMs at the airports are pretty scammy. You'll get better rates in town, or better yet, if you are able to get Mexican pesos in the United States, like at a local bank or something. Um, but like the airport rates are a robbery. It's not like Thailand where they have the best rates. Um, Airports in Mexico, it'll take like 20-25% of all of your money, virtually. Um, yeah, local tiendas for basic supplies. They have tiny little like electronic accessory shops. So if you need like, if you left your iPhone charger at home, no worries. But for more specific electronics, yeah, you might have to go into Puerto Vallarta for that. Tons of medical facilities. So if you're worried about that or have any medical necessities, no worries. Or if you want to do medical tourism, which Mexico is a great place for, tons of resources near inside Sayulita and also adjacently in Puerto Vallarta, which is a huge medical tourism destination. So if you want to get any checkups or get any work done, you'll save 50, 60, 70, 80% on top of what you would normally spend in the United States. And many, if not most of them, are trained in like at US colleges and so quality assurance is extremely high. So maybe liability stuff's less high, but you'd have to look into that on yourself. Yeah, and plenty of urgent care and other stuff. I don't think you need any COVID stuff to come in and back of Mexico anymore. So, you know, that covers that. So, yeah, I think that's about all I'll cover in this video. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want me to help you out in any of this process. I'm really excited to have people to train with in Sayulita for that time. I'll be in Puerto Vallarta for a few weeks before that, and then I'll be in Sayulita for the week before and the week during this training. So if you're in the area and you want to visit with me, grab a coffee or do some training, I'm happy to. Thank you.